Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Some designer brands out there sell everything under the sun. $700 t-shirts, sunglasses with lenses the size of dinner plates, and occasionally a fragrance. And with that in mind, today we're taking a look at 10 of the biggest design houses in the world and the absolute best single fragrance from each one of those houses. So if you're gonna own just one, these are the ones. All of them are gonna be linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. We're going to start with Christian Dior. Which the best Christian Dior? Easily, hands down. Don't even have to think about it. Sauvage Eau Forte. It's okay, there's carpet. In actuality, I have to go with this one, Dior Homme Intense. Now, this is a newer bottling style, as you can tell by the Dior Homme Intense up at the top here, but regardless of which version, which bottle, Dior Homme Intense has to be the choice. See, Eau Forte is fine, it's okay. This stuff is perfect. I think as far as designer fragrances, period, this might be my favorite. It is right up there, up there. And I'm fully aware that its days are probably numbered considering how Dior has been approaching things lately, changing things, discontinuing things, you know. This though, one of the best iris fragrances ever made, period. Whether we're talking about designers, niche, indie, whatever. Rich, creamy, elegant, sexy, just fantastic. If you were gonna say one negative thing about this fragrance, it's that it's probably not really the easiest casual wear. It's definitely more of like a special occasion, high impact type of fragrance. And also a lot of times people that are just getting into fragrances, when they smell this, they don't really go for it quite so much. But this, gotta have it. Now I know I said one single fragrance from each one of these houses, but with 5 of the houses, I'm gonna also have a backup. And with Dior, I do have a backup, and it is this one, Sauvage Elixir. Because Sauvage is just such a huge line, I feel like you gotta pick one of them. And if I were gonna pick just one, it would be this one. And yes, I realize that Sauvage Elixir does not smell that close to the original Sauvage, but I don't care. It's got Sauvage in the name. It counts. Very woodsy, spicy, masculine, extremely strong in terms of performance. 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the present as far as how the scent comes across. Stunning for fall and winter time, great quality. Only drawbacks for this one, it did kind of kick off the whole elixir craze. So just as far as that, name is concerned, elixir, this one helped put gasoline on that fire, or petrol, depending on where you live. But at the end of the day, it is just a name, so who cares? And also it did make designer fragrances have yet another tier of expense. Like, oh, we can do an even higher tier and charge more. It did that too. And that actually is more negative. I guess you could argue, yeah, but the quality, but the price, the quality, the price, From there we move on to Giorgio Armani. And with Armani, I had to do an Acqua di Gio. Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I had to do an Acqua di Gio. I do wanna give a shout out to Armani Code. Fantastic line of fragrances, some really good ones there. Emporio Armani, Stronger With You, of course. But for me personally, Acqua di Gio is one of the most important fragrances, period. Right, like Acqua di Gio Eau de Toilette, when that came out, massive. Just as big as Sauvage is nowadays. But that's not the one I'm going for. I'm actually gonna go for this one, Acqua di Gio Parfum. I think the Parfum edition is like your best all-in-one Acqua di Gio nowadays, with a special mention to Profundo Eau de Parfum. Love that one too. This gives you that freshness mixed with a little bit of sweetness that you've come to expect from Acqua di Gio. Has a little more density, depth, and texture as it dries down. Has a nice incense that kind of wafts throughout, so you can use it year round. Daytime, nighttime, extremely versatile, big compliment puller, just extremely well done. And if I were gonna take just one Acqua di Gio, it would probably be this one. I would feel bad about leaving some of the other ones behind, but man, Parfum just gets it right. Next up, let's talk about Chanel. They have some huge releases, but they do usually take longer to release their fragrances. And then when they do get ready to release their fragrances, they have to make sure to go and threaten people on social media all over the place not to talk about their releases. Very tiring. I feel bad for them. You just have to have sympathy for the huge corporation trying to stomp people who just want to talk about their products. Their fragrance that I would choose to keep is this one, Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. It's extremely versatile, possibly one of the most versatile fragrances ever made. And that's not hyperbole, like legitimately it is. It's a big compliment puller. It is of course gonna be a little bit more pricey than most other fragrances here today because it is a Chanel, and you're not really gonna find those at discounters. A wonderful mix of woods, citrus, and enough depth, once again, that you can pull this off year round. Just a really solid scent. Valentino is next up, and I do have to say that some of these brands, I'm staying away from fragrances that are more difficult to find for the most part, like discontinued ones. And with Valentino nowadays, I think if I were gonna keep only one, it would have to be this one, Born in Roma Intense. I just absolutely adore everything about this fragrance, other than just the note breakdown, because it's a whole 3-note thing. And you know, I whine about that incessantly like a small baby who got his toy stolen from him because I don't like it. It's just kind of like lazy marketing, I feel like. But yeah, it's not a big deal. In the grand scheme of the world, actually, it does not matter at all, to be fair. So this one right here, lavender, bit of woodiness, and also vanilla as well. Smells exceptional in the air. Like, this stuff is certified, just a magnet. It draws people in. The performance is there, just really, really well done. But with Valentino, I have two, and the backup is this one, Coral Fantasy. Coral Fantasy, much like Intense over here, a great blend of fresh and sweet together. Has a really nice crisp apple off the top, which is just absolutely enthralling. Like, it takes over your mind when you smell it. It's like, wow, that is friggin' good. Then as it dries down, a little bit of tobacco in there as well. Expertly done, great scent, great release. We move from there to Versace. Just one fragrance this time. And I have to say that Versace, by and large, has a bunch of solid releases, especially when you're talking about how much you can pick them up for at discounters. You've got stuff like Man Eau Fraiche, Versace Pour Homme, Versace Oud Noir, Dylan Blue, Eros Flame, just lots of releases where you're like, this is all really good. The one I'm gonna go with is Eros Parfum. I love what they did with this one. It has great performance, like you would expect from an Eros flanker, and it's a little bit more mature, a little bit more grown, still has like a playful edge to it, but it definitely comes across higher quality, especially compared to the Eau de Toilette. You know, it's not as like bubblegummy, synthetic kind of coming across. Instead, it has more deepness to it. It has a little bit more of this aromatic edge that again gives it more lift, makes it smell higher quality. It is the grown up Eros, perfect for fall, winter, and really evening use in general. And even though it comes in this bottle and people automatically will think, oh, it's like a clubbing, you know, kitty fragrance line. No, Eros Parfum is great. You can rock this stuff anywhere. Yves Saint Laurent next, and I have to go with Y Eau de Parfum. Now you could make an argument for the original Y Le Parfum. That one is also fantastic, but has been replaced, of course. I also really liked Y Live in the Y line. That one discontinued, can't pick that one up anymore. At least not with ease, is what I mean. You can obviously find anything if you want to pay enough. So yeah, Y Eau de Parfum, obviously the safe choice, the most popular one in the lineup, but for good reason. It projects well, it lasts a long time, it has that balance of fresh and sweet together. The apple, once again, really attention grabbing when you spray this on. As it dries down, has a nice amber woodiness that gives it warmth and still feels modern, still feels masculine, maintains some of that freshness into the dry down, and it's sweet pretty much the whole way through, which people go crazy for. So gotta go with that one, but also a backup here, and I'm gonna go La Nuit de l'Homme, just the original. Really important release, this one, extremely popular, obviously over the years. Cardamom. One of the big notes here, the big note. Everybody will talk about it in here, the cardamom, cardamom, cardamom. It makes people smash their heads into walls. That's scientifically proven. I've seen it online. Really well known as a date night fragrance, and yes, it excels in that situation, but you can also rock this pretty much all fall, all winter, early spring during the day as well, even though it's Night of the Man. It works. So La Nuit de l'Homme, gotta put that one in there. And also YSL. Give us some more L'Homme, some more La Nuit. They teased us, gave us blue balls with Blue Electrique. You know, they came out with it and it was like, oh, this is great, it's gone. What happened? Did I make that up? Was I tripping? Took some mushrooms, thought something happened there and it didn't actually, oh, it was real. It's just, it was gone that fast, cool. YSL, stop that, stop it. Prada up next. Now Prada lately has been pretty much just Luna Rosa Ocean. for the most part. They did come out with Paradigm recently, which that one smells okay. Smells not bad. Not necessarily earth-shattering or anything like that, but that's okay. But for me, if I'm going just one product, just one, the one to rule them all, gotta be L'Homme Intense. Now, shout out to Luna Rossa, especially Luna Rossa Black, Luna Rossa Carbon. Those are really solid, but I gotta go with this one. This is just, to me, kind of like the pinnacle right now of that Prada style. And by that, I mean something clean, something a little soapy, classy, but sexy. The iris in here smells amazing. It has that leather that gives it a nice little masculine undertone. It helps the fragrance push a little more, last a little while longer. Just an exceptional release. Jean-Paul Gaultier is the next house up, and this one has a lot of choices, a bunch of them. So I do have a backup here. So first fragrance, obviously, has to come from Le Male/Libo. It's gotta come from one of those, right? Because I kind of lump those together in my mind. I think everybody does, to be fair, because the bottle is essentially a dismembered torso that still has a bulge intact, and also pecs. That's basically the bottle. Just one is more angular and the other is less. So one is a robot and the other is a bro. I don't know, a brobot. The one I'm gonna go with though from that whole extensive lineup is this one, Elixir. An argument could be made for Le Beau Le Parfum or Le Male Le Parfum, or just throwing it back to the original Le Male or even Ultra Male. Like I said, there's a bunch of options, but my favorite is this one, unless we're like in the middle of spring or summer. And then my favorite is probably Le Beau Le Parfum or Paradise Garden. But for now, we're just saying that it's just this one, okay? I love how rich it is, how deep it is. It's extremely sexy. And I think it takes that Le Male Le Parfum DNA and just bumps it up one tiny notch. I do like this one usually a little bit above Le Parfum, but again, Le Parfum, fantastic as well. The backup, another gold bottle, Scandal Absolute. I do really like the Scandal line, especially like Scandal Le Parfum, the original Scandal, but I think that of the line, this is the best one. It has that modern, gourmand, cozy sexiness while still having good projection, so it gets you noticed, but the way that it comes across is a little more inviting instead of like aggressive. So it has a nice smoothness to it, and I just think it smells absolutely amazing in the air. Hugo Boss is the next fragrance house, and with Hugo Boss, I kind of have like a hierarchy in my mind. So like the Canteen bottles, those are usually their cheaper ones. And some of them are pretty good at discounters, but you don't usually go into those fragrances expecting a whole heck of a lot. So if it's good, then it's like a good surprise. But if it's not that great, you don't go, I had such high expectations. You just go, okay, yeah. Then there's the scent, and some of those real good. A lot of them do kind of run together a little bit, and it does feel like to me that they don't prioritize the scent line quite as much, which leaves Boss Bottled. And with that line, you have ups and downs, highs and lows. You have some fragrances that are absolutely stunning. You have other fragrances that are a little forgettable. And probably not a massive surprise because again, ones that are discontinued are very difficult to find. I didn't really include those, but probably not a huge surprise. The one that I had to go with is Absolute. I think Boss Bottled Absolute is absolutely fantastic. The quality is nuts for a designer fragrance, especially Hugo Boss. And I've said this before, but if you go back 5-6 years and you say, hey, Hugo Boss is gonna come out with a Boss Bottled flanker that is going to be just one of the absolute top designer releases, not only of the year it comes out, but of like the last 3, 4, 5 years. Like it is that good. You would just go, okay, bro, put down the pipe. Or actually hand it over here because I want a little bit of what you're smoking. You've lost your mind. I like it. Don't do drugs, kids. A little bit similar to Parfums de Marly Carlisle. It is opulent, which I don't use that word very often, especially to describe designer fragrances, but this stuff is just top tier. Fall, winter, rich, elegant. And the final house, Rabanne, the house formerly known as Paco Rabanne. I guess they looked at Armani, right? And it's like Giorgio Armani, but everybody just calls it Armani, and they were like, yo, we gotta lose the Paco, we're just Rabanne now. So I guess that makes some sense, sort of. The two biggest lines, Invictus and 1 Million. Now, of course, there's also Phantom, but I did not choose one of those. There's also XS, but the XS line is kind of forgotten to an extent right now. But I do want to give a little respect to Pure XS. I really love that one. Black XS, very good as well, and just straight up XS. Smells like a discount version of Himalaya. The one I have to go with though is this right here, Invictus Victory Elixir. And I do have a backup, the last one. I don't even know why I'm calling it a backup. It's not really a backup, it's a second choice. Invictus Victory Elixir, this is for lovers of vanilla, specifically that kind of sparkling, effervescent type of vanilla that is really popular nowadays. It does smell a little bit like a combo of other fragrances put into a blender, like more contemporary fragrances, but I absolutely love how it smells. Fall, wintertime, an absolute monster. And the last fragrance, Lucky, 1 Million Lucky. Which is kind of funny because 1 Million Lucky doesn't smell like a typical 1 million, or at least what a lot of people would think of as typical 1 millions, which is something that's really warm, spicy, sweet. This one is sweet, but it's not that like dense, you know, rich, spicy type of sweetness. Instead, it has an opening that is a little bit ozonic, a little bit airy, fresh, but then has this deeper plum sweetness underneath. And then you also have in here hazelnut, honey, and amberwood as it dries down. This one perfect for spring, perfect for fall. Then if you want to during summer and winter, you can spray more, spray less. It works then too. It smells quite unique. Big compliment puller, just a great release by Paco Rabanne, because it was Paco Rabanne when that one came out, so that's what it counts, yeah. Because you see, it was Paco Rabanne when that one came out. This one too, technically, so both of these are Paco Rabanne. So there you have it, guys. These are 10 of the biggest designer houses in the world, and for me, my choice for the one I would keep, sometimes two, from each one of these houses. I want to thank you guys who are here all the way to the end for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.